Hey, it's me, Erin, and I am writing a book. So, I've been wanting to write a book for a while. I have always loved reading, and I love writing. I don't write as much as I probably should, though. But last night, I was kind of just awake. I couldn't go to sleep. And I looked in my notes app, and I saw this writing that I wrote, like, just on a whim, when I was on Thanksgiving break right before I went to Oregon, and I really liked it, and it kind of sparked, like, inspiration. And immediately I was thinking of all these ideas, and I was just so excited, and I just had to make a book, and it had to be something that I really cared about. Because I've tried this before, where I get an idea for a book, and I get really excited, and I start loving the characters, and then as I'm planning it, I can't get past the planning part, because I start planning it, and the fire within me starts burning out, and next thing I know, I haven't even started the first draft yet. But first, I want to talk about the book, first of all, what it is. So it's a book about this boy. He is turning 18 soon. I don't know how much I should say, just because not everything is set in stone right now, and I don't plan to set everything in stone. I just plan to write out the first draft and see what happens from there. I do have ideas, certain scenes I want to happen, how I want the characters to evolve, I guess. I don't know, like their character arcs, where I want them to be at the end of the story. And I have a few ideas of how to get them there. I just, they're not very concrete, I guess. So the reason why I'm doing this is because, this is my second semester of college. I actually just got out of class. This is my second semester of college, and it is the loneliest year. It's the loneliest time I've been in a long time. And it could be good or bad, depending how you see it. But being alone all the time, it's made me reflect on a lot of stuff in my past that I have chosen to ignore, that I have just pushed to the back of my head, and just so I can deal with it later. It is now later. And I have been reliving stuff from my past, stuff that I've just put on the back burner that I didn't want to think about anymore, and now it is later, and I have to deal with it now. So, I want to talk a little bit about that stuff, because that's a big reason why I feel so passionate about writing this book. So, growing up as a kid, I was raised very religious. My family's Christian, so I grew up very Christian. I was really into Christianity as a kid, and it was literally my life. As a kid, I loved God. I loved going to church and seeing all of my friends there. I loved learning about God. I loved watching VeggieTales, and just all the works, you know. But as I got older, I started learning new things about myself. When I was 11, I realized I was queer, and it kind of shook my world, because it's the first time I really saw the dark side of Christians, I guess. I don't know how hypocritical they can be, how hateful they can be. And I'd never seen that before. And so it really changed who I was as a person, because I was Christian, I loved God, and yet I was being told by so many people that I was gonna go to hell because I was being myself. So yeah, my middle school years were not the greatest. It wasn't until the thing is, okay, I didn't really start questioning my beliefs until after I came out to my mom. I came out to my mom, actually, I think it's been 7 years now. I guess my 7-year anniversary of coming out to my mom was, because it was in February. It was like a week before Valentine's Day. I was 12 years old. I came out to my mom, and her reaction is really what set off like something in me to actually start questioning, because I was really miserable. I was very miserable. Even before I figured out I was gay, I felt like every single little thing I was doing was a mistake. Any little, even just impure thought, I guess, whether it be mean or just whatever, I always felt like I felt like the biggest sinner in the world. I felt horrible with anything I said. It turned me into a really quiet person. I was scared to say anything. I was scared to think. I was scared to do anything because I didn't want to go to hell. Because I was afraid that any little thing I do would just send me straight to hell. I had a lot of religious guilt. And it got even worse once I realized I was gay. But I didn't really start questioning stuff until after I came out to my mom, and she had such a negative reaction to it. And it kind of set off like a chain reaction of a lot of stuff. I really started getting out of it though, maybe towards the end of COVID. I would say is when I really like figured out like, okay, I am not Christian. I do not believe in this stuff. And then I kind of just left it at that. I continued on to high school, and I just left that stuff in the past. I didn't want to think about it because it was, I guess I have like a lot of religious trauma from my youth of being so dedicated to God and yet still being so shunned out by his followers and his community despite my love being so big. Anyways, I wanted to write, so that like little excerpt I did in my notes app was a little bit about that kind of. It's actually the first scene that I'm using in my book that I will be saying, that you will be hearing a little bit later. I do want to say like the first 2 or 3 paragraphs that I have written so far. But yeah, so with this year of, I guess, isolation and loneliness, I've really been reflecting on that, and it wasn't until recently that I realized how bad it was. How actually bad that religious trauma was. And it wasn't until like recent news and people started defending Trump with oh, God sent him, or like, whatever else. If you've been on TikTok, you know what I'm talking about. That I just felt so much rage because they're not thinking to critically think about these things, to critically question their beliefs and make sure that they really do believe this stuff. Because I did that and I was 13 years old. So I want to write a book about someone who is so deep in the religion, their love for their God, that they don't think to question their beliefs, because that's what so many people are right now. They don't think to question their beliefs. I don't care if they believe their God, but at least I think it's so important to ask questions so you're not just blindly following someone who could turn out to be bad and you don't even know it. So I guess a little synopsis, is he's a boy who has grown up overly religious. I don't want to say too much about why he is and stuff like that. I think right now I want to set this in medieval times, because I don't see this story happening in modern times. I don't see this story happening in Victorian era. It feels right in medieval times, and I've been doing a little bit of research on that. And yeah, the story will be queer, so of course he will meet a boy and they go on a little adventure, and on this adventure they're learning about each other. They are slowly helping each other and bettering each other, while the main character is of course starting to question his beliefs and realize that maybe his religion is not what it's all cracked up to be, because of how mistreated he's been all his life. Anyways, I want to use this book to explore a lot of thoughts that I've been having about religion recently, about certain arguments, I guess. And but it won't entirely be about religion, of course. It will be a love story. And I want it to be beautiful. I think it'll be really pretty. And that's kind of my hopes for it. Anyways, with like thinking a lot about these experiences I've had, I don't really have many outlets to talk about them. And the few times I have talked about them with my friends most recently, it felt really good. And I think I need this book right now. I need an outlet to get this out. And of course, I'm not going to make the main character like a self-insert. No, the character will be its own person. He will have his own personality, his own thoughts, and all that, of course. But he's not going to be me. But I feel like it's really important. Oh, is it golden hour? I feel like it's really important for authors to put a piece of themselves in their books. You know what I mean? And I feel like I want to give this book a piece of myself that I haven't really given to most people in my life. It wasn't until maybe recently that I really started talking about this with my friends and giving them this piece of myself. And even they don't really know the extent of it. So in this character, I will be putting a couple of my own experiences, of course, of him like learning about himself, of him questioning his beliefs, kind of the similar process that I went through. But yeah, I'm really excited about this book because it's about a topic that I am very passionate about and that I would like to talk about more. I feel like religion has really taken over the world. No matter what thing it is, religion has always been such a huge part of many people's lives, and yet so many people have yet to really think critically about it, about their religion, about what they really believe in. And I want to talk about that. So it will be an adventure. It will be a love story. It will be a story about learning yourself, about learning how to love. And I don't claim to be a good writer. I have been told by friends and stuff that have read my stuff that I am decent. And I don't know if I believe them, but I will do my best. I will do it. So my plan right now is to do one draft of just writing, and then I will pick over it, see what I want to include, see what I don't want to include, all that good stuff. Probably write another draft, of course, fixing plot holes, whatever else, the works. I have an idea of who the characters will be and who they're going to be at the end of the story. I have an idea of the journey they're going to take, just not really how that's going to happen. I'm just going to write and see what happens. So as for the publishing, I have thought about this. I would like to publish it in public to people so you guys can read it. So my plan is right now, I'm just going to try to get a first draft done and see what happens there. I think my best options of self-publishing, I guess, is maybe on AO3. I love reading AO3. I love fanfics, and I know these are like my own characters. I created these characters. I know AO3 is mostly fanfiction and stuff, so I don't really know how that would work, but I would like to try. I will update more about that. Just for now, you'll probably just hear snippets here and there, but I do eventually want to publish this. For now, my plan is to publish it on AO3, but that will probably change. Anyways, as the reason I'm making a video is because I want to document this. So this is episode 0, I guess, just talking about my plans, why I'm making this book, why it's important to me, and kind of giving a couple of details on what it is. But I want to do, like, I guess maybe weekly vlogs, like little updates here and there about the progress on the book, how is it going. I'll give little snippets of things I've written, and just dissecting more of the story. I don't know yet if it's gonna be a weekly vlog type thing or just like updates when I do get progress done, because I am a full-time college student. I'm a computer science major. So right now I'm gonna try to do weekly to keep myself accountable, but we will see. But yeah, I think now I will be I'm not sure if I should do it now. Yeah, I think so. I did write a little bit last night, and I also wrote a little bit during class, so I will be putting the first couple paragraphs right here. I will be reading them out to you. I hope you enjoy it so far. Please, if you have any suggestions or critiques already, go ahead and put them down in the comments. I hope you guys are excited about this as I am, and I hope at least one of you guys would like to follow along on this journey with me. If not, that is completely okay. I'm kind of just doing this because I want to, and I don't really expect anyone to read my book. I'm doing this because I want to, and it's something I'm passionate about. So yeah, I hope you have a good day. I'm gonna drive home now and do homework. And write a little bit more of my book. I hope you like this little snippet, and subscribe, like the video. Bye.